Hi everyone. Thanks for joining the day 3 of our Java training. So let me share my screen. Today we are going to continue on the discussions which we had related to the variables and what are the different data types we have. So please give me a thumbs up if you're able to see my screen and my voice is clear. Thank you, Priya. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Thank you, Kunal. First, so yesterday we have seen at the high level what is variables and how we allocate and all, right? So we will do a deep dive here. So why I need a variable? Without variable, why can't I do activities? So you know very well that whatever we deals, it's a data. I'm talking to you. This is a data, and you are listening to my notes. Like this is a data. All this data needs to be stored somewhere and needs to be processed. So that is the whole idea of like all our application, right? Irrespective what type of application you are developing, it can be a web-based or desktop-based application or whichever language you develop. Irrespective of all these things, you are finally going and dealing with some data only. And these data are stored somewhere. And that stored data only we are going to get it and do some process. For example, you are logging to a online shopping app and you want to see the product details. When you want to see the product details, what you will do? You will log into that website. You will search, I want a shirt. I want some dresses. So something you will search it. For you, it's a product, but for the application, it's a data. It will go and check from the storage whether the data is stored and it will get the data. So usually what we do is you just say something like this only, that is I want to search something like shoe. That's what you will show, right? You will say that I want to see the details of shoe. I want to see the detail of shirt. That's what we mentioned. But all these data are arranged in memory, that is stored in a memory. So here in this row, the shoe details all will be stored. And it's all like a rack memory. So here the shoe is stored. And here the shirt informations are stored. So it's stored somewhere. And whenever the user like we log into the website, when we ask about the details, it is going to get that information and show it to us. But all these memories will have something called address. So memory will have some address. So in that address only all these informations are all stored. So I cannot remember every time the address of this, right? I know only the product which I'm looking for. Like I'm looking for a shoe, I'm looking for a shirt. That's what I know. But for a computer machine, it's not like that. It is looking for something called the address. If I pass the address, then in that particular place, whatever it is there, it is going to pick and show it to me. But ideally, I cannot remember all the addresses, right? It will be n number of address where all these details will be stored. So I cannot remember all these things. To avoid that only, we brought in the concept called the variables. So you are adding some locations. So for every location, there is an address. For every address, we are going to name it. Name, it's very easy for us to remember. It's not like a very difficult task for me. So if I want something like shoe, if I want something like shirt, that I can remember. But it will be really hard for me to remember something called the IP address 0x00, 0x001. So those and all really hard for us to understand. That's the reason we brought in the concept called the memory. Okay, so the memory and variables, this is the concept we have taken. So now you understand, like this one, instead of address going forward, I will call it with the name of shoe. I will call it with the name of shirt. So ultimately that also go and get the information like whatever stored in this particular area, right? It will be pulled and it will be showed to me. If I call with shoe, then whatever stored in this particular area, it will be pulled and it will be showed to me. So that is the need of variable. So in a memory, everything is stored, all the data are stored, but I cannot remember all the addresses of this memory. So whatever it is there, memory addresses, right? These and all I cannot remember. For each and every row, there is a memory address allocated. So that as a normal human, like we cannot understand, but machine will understand only those addresses. So to balance between us and the machines, we brought in the concept of variable. So this is what we have seen at a high level yesterday. Now let me take you into the editor. So yesterday we have seen a simple program of arithmetic. So today we are going to let me comment all these lines. Okay, so when I use this editor, I will be sharing you the shortcuts also, because as a developer, you should know how to use your editor efficiently. So this IDE you should know. So Visual Studio, when I do, like I will share you the shortcuts in Visual Studio also, so that you will be using. So I want to comment all these lines. So what is comment? Yesterday itself I told you will have this piece of code in your source code, but this may not be executed. This may not be used by the computer to execute. So ideally, what is code? You are giving some instructions to computer, right? Hey, line number one, I'm giving one instruction. Please do it. Line number two, some instruction I'm giving. So computer has to follow the instruction and run it. But now I'm saying that I'm having some lines. These are all for my reference purpose only. I need it in future purpose. I don't need it now, so I don't want this to be executed or used by computer. If that is the case, what I will do a commenting. So yesterday itself, I told you there are two type of comments, single line and multi-line and all. Now, if I want to comment more lines, what I can do is select the lines like 3 lines or 2 lines, whatever maybe. This is the shortcut in Visual Studio. Press Control key in your keyboard and press the slash. Okay, just below the question mark in your keyboard, there will be one slash. Just enter it. That's it. Both the keys, that is control key and slash key. If I do, I can do a multi-line. This like more than one line I can comment. So this I'll be using because I don't want this piece of code now. I'm going to start something fresh. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to I'm going into a website now, and that website I'm planning to get one product, so that I want to print it. So for that, I have lot of options, right? So the say for example, I want to purchase one shirt, and when I enter into that, like shirt options I got, but I have to select the specific size of the shirt. So obviously I have to give the size, right? That 39 or 38, whatever may be the size of the shirt I has to give. So now what I'll be doing is the variable usually will be like this. That is, you will have, this is the syntax only, right? I'm telling you should give a variable name, okay? And you should assign some values to that. And you should have a type of the variable also. This is what we have seen, right? The data type, what kind of data this variable is going to add. So this is a syntax, but now let's see how you can easily do. So syntax, let's keep aside. So what I'm going to do is I am going to search for a product, and the product, okay, product size I'm going to give, and the size is 38. So this is the size I'm giving for the shirt size. And now I'm going to print it also. So when you want to print it, what was the statement I told? System.out.println. So let's do an understanding of this. What is system.out.println? System.out.println means it is going to, this itself a method. Okay, println itself is a method. So it is going to do an activity. What we have seen yesterday, method is nothing but it's a block. It is meant to for some functionality. It is going to do some set of functionality. So in this case, println itself a method. It is going to do the functionality of printing something, like whatever I give inside this, right, it is going to print. That is, when I give something inside this method, inside the double quotes, whatever I'm giving, right, hi, hello, how are you, everything it is going to print it. So that is the main idea of this println. But now I'm interested in printing the shoe, that is the product size. So it can be anything. So, or a shirt size, I'll mark it. Shirt size, I want to print it. So when I enter like this, as I told, if I print anything, it is going to print as it is. That is, if I say shirt size, it is going to print it. And the shirt size is nothing but some number. So I'm planning to give it as integer. So int shirt size, and it is taking some number and it is printing. I'm going to run with error only, okay? Intentionally I'm doing. So to know the difference in the println activity, okay? For now, the expectation is I want to print the number 38 because I want to print the size, the shirt size, right? So I'm doing it. So the command what we have learned yesterday, that is Java C hello world. And one important thing I want to highlight here. So yesterday we have seen, right, packages and classes and all. So in a class, you may have n number of methods, but your execution will start from the method with the name of main. So that is the difference between your main method and the other methods. So your execution will start when you run this program. It will first look for the piece of code inside the main method. So whatever it is inside the main method, that will be given as an instruction to the machine, that is your machine first. Then only the next methods will be taken for consideration. So the first entry point would be your main method. That's why they named it as main. So now I am running it. So first I'm compiling. There is no compilation error. That's why it is returning as it is. Now I'm executing Java hello world. So now I think this piece of code is not commented somewhere. Still it is holding the whole Java class. Let me delete it. I commented the code anyhow. I believe all the lines are commented. Nothing is here. Or to avoid confusion, I can even delete the old piece of codes. Right. So I have only these lines now. Okay, let me save it. I forgot to save. Sorry, it's my bad. So once you save the file, run it. So now it is printing just the word shirt size. It is not even printing anything additionally. Like what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something called the size of the shirt. 38 needs to be printed, but it is not printing here now. Why it is like this is I'm giving something inside the double quotes in the println method, means it will print only the text inside that. But if you want the actual value of this variable, then you have to use something called, that is, you should not give inside the double quotes. You have to give the name as it is. That is only shirt size you have to give. Okay. And you can ask me what is this plus? Plus is nothing but a concatenation operations in Java. That is, I want to print both the things. Shirt size, the text also I want to print. At the same time, I want to print the actual number of the variable. That is inside this variable, it is holding the 38 number, right? So that also I want to print it. So I am using this. So let me compile. Let me run. So now it is saying shirt size 38. If you want to have some space or whatever, like a semicolon to make it like beautify all those things, yes, that and all we can do so that you will have a clear text. So ideally what we are doing is you are using a variable. This will have some memory allocated. So where it is allocated and all, it's like as a developer we don't need to concentrate because I already told we have the concept of automatic garbage collection, GC option is there. So only you have to concentrate like how you are going to handle this variable. So I'm assigning a variable and with the value of 38 and doing and I'm printing. So currently in a single line itself, I am doing it right. So usually you can do it in multiple lines also, the same code whatever I added, right? So that will be splitted into two lines. Let me keep this line also. So what I did for data type, it is a numbers, I put integer. So today's session I'm going to tell what are the different data types we have. So every data will have different type, right? Sometimes I will say the size of the shirt. Sometimes I want the color of the shirt. If it is a blue or if it is a green one, I need to specify. So different data of a shirt I want to collect. Everything would be different. Something will be a word, something will be a yes or no question, something would be a numbers like this. So every data will have different types. So that we are going to discuss how we can handle in Java. So the variable name, it's a size, and this value, it's 38 we have added now. This is the variable value. So what we are going to do is, ideally we used to do it in two different steps. What are those steps is, first you have to say something like this, that is shirt size. Every statement should end with semicolon. So this is a instruction. So computer will understand only instructions, right? To know the end of your command. So every line is a command to the computer. To know the end of the command, computer, you have to use that semicolon at the end. So this is the instruction to the jar machine. That is, if you remove it, it is going to throw me an error. That is expected semicolon. You didn't add. This is a syntax error. So every block should end with a semicolon to give an instruction to machine that, hey, line number 1 is completed. Line number 2 is completed. So to indicate the completion, we are giving the semicolon. So first what I did, I declared, that is, I declared one variable and I mentioned that this is the type of the variable, right? So this is um declaration. So variable, first I did declaration. Now this variable should have a value. So that value I have to give, right? So that I'm doing it as shirt size equal to 36. So when I give like this, now what I'm giving? I am assigning some value. I'm giving some value to the variable. So this is called assignment. So these are the technical terms we are talking about. So far I told that you are creating a variable and you are giving some numbers to it, right? But ideally, there is a technical term behind that. That is the first line. That is, you are creating a new variable, right? That is called declaration. You are declaring to Java program stating that, hey, going forward, there will be a variable with the name of shirt size and that it is going to hold only the numbers. So I'm declaring to the program. Second thing is I'm giving some values to the variable. So whenever I call with the shirt size, it is going to print me the size 36 to me. So now I'm going to execute the program. I'll compile and I will run it. So there won't be any change in the output. Just see at the bottom, this is the new output, this is the old output. Based upon the input I'm giving, whether I give 38 or 36, it is going to print as it is. The way it is going to print, there is no change. If I give 38 here and compile and run it, I'm going to get the same output, irrespective whether I coded in a single line or in the multiple lines like this. But the good practice is split like this. You have to declare first and you have to do a assignment later. So this is the way you will be handling the variables. Now coming back to the data types. So yeah, even before the data types, let me tell one more thing on the package. It seems for other student it was not clear. So he was asking like package. So package, what it is grouping similar things together. So if I have a class with the name of car, if I have a class, say let me tell that I have multiple classes. So the first class name is car. Another class name is bike. another one is bicycle. So these are the class, and I have something called apple, something called orange, and something called banana. I'm taking very simple example. I'm not going too technical now. So I have these classes. These classes are there. So if you look at this, the first three classes have similar set of activity. That is, all three are vehicles. And the last three comes under similar category, that is called fruits. So package is nothing but group of similar class together. So what I can do is I can create a package with the name of vehicle. Okay, so I can create a package with the name of vehicle. And inside this package, what I can do, I can keep everything. The car, bike, bus, whatever I have, right? That things I can keep under this. Just to explain, I added comments. So these three things going forward will comes under the umbrella of vehicle package. So if somebody asks me, hey, I want some information about a few vehicles, you don't need to search around. You just go and check for the package with the name of vehicle, and you take everything. And as a package, you can give. So only if you give vehicle package, it will have all the classes: car, bike, bus, train, like whatever may be the one, you will get it. Similarly, you can create a package with the name of fruit. So that will have all the fruit related classes. So this is called package. Package is nothing but grouping similar classes together. And class is the one which is going to make your function like work, and class will have multiple methods, and your execution will start from the main method. The first, when you run your program, it will first to look for the main method. Inside the main method, whatever it is there, that only will be run first, and whatever instructions it's mentioned there, that will be sent to machine to run it, to use it. Then the next classes, sorry, next methods will be taken. So now let me share my screen for a few of the discussions related to um, data types. Okay, so lot of informations we will be dealing with this. A good programmer should know how to select the data types. So I'm helping you to guide how you can select your data type. So that will be your first thing. So if you look at this, I have something, say, data type is nothing but what type of data you're going to deal with. As I told you, when I want to purchase a shirt, shirts will have something called size. Okay, you will have your size of the shirt, and that will be number, right? It will be numbers like 36, 37, 38. Some numbers would be there. And the shirt will have a color. Okay, the color will be a word. It's not number. Color would be a word. So what you will have is you will have something called blue, red, green, yellow, whatever maybe the colors would be there. And when you want to, when you're playing in this website, a feedback forums or some questions will be asked to you. Do you want to purchase? So the answer would be yes or no. So if you may give a input that I need the uh, shirt or I don't need the shirt. So yes or no kind of thing. So in a website, there will be lot of things we will be doing. Data wise, there will be lot of inputs would be provided. So based upon the type of data, so that is called data type. Based upon the type of data, you will be storing and you will be playing with the variables accordingly. So we will see demos for everything. So data type, today I'm concentrating on the primitive data types only. So there is a non-primitive aspects also there. So what is this primitive data types? Means these are the things you can see: byte, short, int, long, float, everything, right? These are the things it's related to the primitive data type. So what is this primitive data types? Is if you look at this, from this to this, it will deals with numbers. Okay, so byte, short, int, long, float, double. These many data types we have it for number category itself. You can ask me, UV, I'm going to add one simple number as 38, 36, 37. Why these many types are there? Yes, in short, I'm going to explain with the execution, that is demo wise we are going to see. And there is something called Boolean, that is whenever you have a data which is with a category of true or false or yes or no, then the Boolean will come into picture. Okay, Boolean is meant for the true or false. Are you going to purchase this product? True. Or I'm not going to purchase means it's a false, right? So true or false. Or there are some cases you will be dealing only with one alphabet. Say only A, only B. This alone you will be handling. It's not a sequence of data like apple or banana or cat. It will be a simple character if you are using. That is the, you have to use a type of char. So we are going to see that one first. Then I'll take you this also. So these many types are available, right? And it is saying something called 1 bytes, 2 bytes, 4 bytes, 8 bytes. Yes, this is the main things for going for this. That is how much memory it is going to use it and how many letters you can handle, sorry, how many numbers you can handle with that. That is the main reason of selecting. So first, let me take this one. It is saying byte and it is going to use 1 bytes and the it is minus 128 to 127. So that's what it is saying, right? Let's see what it is. So in the shoes example, so let me go back to the code which we are doing just before. This was the code. Like I hope my Visual Studio is visible, right? I'm going back to my Visual Studio screen. So if you look at this, I am printing a shirt size or yeah, shirt size would be fine. And I'm declaring with the integer, right? There are some efficient way we can do. So integer is one of the data type for number. So let's start with something called byte. So what is this byte? Let's understand. So notes itself I'm adding here. So byte is nothing but 1 byte is nothing but 8 bits. These are all we have learned in the college. I'm not going to take you into the those words and make you bored. I'm just going to tell that it is going to have 8 bits for me. Memory allocations. Right. Okay. So what does it mean? This 1 byte can use the data between, so in this chart, what I mentioned, minus 128 to 127. If you are going to deal with a variable which is going to use a number range between, it is handling both negative and positive, okay? Minus 128 to 127, then you can use this data type. So now coming back to our shirt size. Do you have a shirt size beyond 127? No, right? It is not going to be possible. So in that case, you don't need a integer one. You need only byte declaration is fine. So it is a number type only. So shirt size. At max, the shirt size won't go beyond this 127. That I know very sure. So I'm giving the type of byte. So why I'm doing is I am efficiently handling the memory because whenever I say byte, it is going to reserve this 8 bit in the memory for me. If I say integer, it will be more number of bits, but I'm saying that it's something like you're going to a function, your school function, and you feel that a lot of friends will come, so you just reserved the whole row itself for in the auditorium and but unfortunately you are the only one came, none of your friends came. So what will happen? The other seats are all unnecessarily reserved and it is not utilized properly, right? So that is not needed. If you didn't reserve, somebody else would have seated there and they will watch that functions. So that is what is happening here also. If you use integer, you are going to utilize lot of memory, that is reserving lot of memory, but you are not going to use at any point of time because shirt size is not going to be more than 127. So obviously for you byte itself is more than sufficient. So you can declare the type of the data as byte and you can run the program now. So I'm saying byte shared size and search size is anything, okay? Anything between this 127 you can give and you can run this program. So I'm going to run this as usual Java C, hello world and Java. So now you see the same output, whether I put it as 127 or sorry, whether I put it as byte or int, there is no change for me. The ultimate thing is for byte, it can easily accommodate this 38. Okay, so those things we have to keep it in mind. And if I give something more, obviously it is going to fail because incompatibility types you will have some problem here because we know very well what is the recommendation. Byte is saying hey, it is having only 8 bits, that is to this character only I can hold, sorry, this number only I can hold. You are doing something beyond my capacity, so it is throwing me an error. So anything within the range it will accept and you can run this program. So this is for the byte. And the next category what I have is my short. So this is also same thing related to the capacity of the number it can accommodate. So whenever I declared something with a data type as short, what it's going to do is it is going to allocate 2 bytes of memory and anything between this range I can use in the short category. So the same program I can go and I can replace with short and I can utilize. So int is nothing but double the short, that whenever you are going to deal with large number of datas, then you can go for int. And if you feel that you want even further large number of data, you are going to add with like 111 to like lots of a very big number you are going to handle, then you can go for float. So these four numbers types you can use truly based upon the numbers you are going to deal with. It can lesser numbers or a bigger numbers, based upon that you can use the byte, short, int, long. But you can declare a int also and add number 12, number 13 also. It is not going to change the execution. Execution would be same. But the thing is behind the scene, like you are allocating unnecessary memory. If it can be utilized for some other correct program. So that time you may end up in with some memory issues and all. That's why we always prefer first analysis your program. You come to a conclusion that whether you are going to add the size of the product, or sometimes you may end up in adding like the number of products in the website. That will be large, right? A website can have n number of products. So in that case, you need a bigger number to store it. So that time you can use int and all, but for the shirt size or shoe size and all, it will be less and you can very well go with the byte itself. Now you can ask me that, sorry, till this point only, okay, byte, short and long. And then you have something called float and double. What is this meant for is, so far I was talking about the full numbers only, 1, 12, 123, these numbers only I was talking about, right? It's not like always you will be dealing with this. There are some cases you will be dealing with 123.3, 123.35. So some decimal points also you have to hold it. In that case, you can declare this float and double. So this float and double, what it's going to do is it will help me to handle the decimal points. So that is what we are doing here. So float, double, and Boolean is nothing but true or false, and this is character. So let me show the demos for everything now. So, so if you look at this, I have used byte, and when I use large number, it was throwing me an error, right? But if I change it to short, okay, if I change it to short, the error is gone because short can have 2 bytes of data. That is, it will accommodate 32,000 till 32,000 I can give. If I give something beyond that, obviously it is also going to show me error. So in that case, what I have to do, I have to change it to int. Okay, this is the correct way of doing. But nowadays, programmers are not ready to take this analysis part and all. They are straight away going and declaring. Wherever you take any sample code in the online and all, Even if you are going to add a single digit number, 1, 2, 3 and all, you always see integer only. You won't see the other samples they are providing because they don't want to take risk. They don't want to know like what type of data I'm going to handle, whether it is a size of the product or it is a number of visitors to the website. So they don't want to take the risk. So they always go with this options of int itself. Any sample program online, you will have this one. But Java has the option for others also. Next, when I deal with this decimal number, it is not going to take it. So obviously what I have to do, I have to change it to the data types. So if it is a float or if it is a double, I can use these values and that will help me to sort out this error. So how many decimal points I have. So those things will help me to deal with this. Fine. So far I deal with this numbers fine. But now I want to deal with another code, that is another line I want to print. That is, do you like this website? Or I hope you like this website. So it's like, I hope you like this online shopping. So this is what I'm going to ask the end user. So the end user, what they will tell? They will say either true or false, right? So I'm going to add a variable called feedback, and at any point of time, it is going to have the value of either true or false only. So in that case, what I can do? I can declare that with the name of Boolean. So when I say Boolean, what it's going to do is it is going to print me true or false. So I'm printing this. Now you know, right? If I want the exact string, I will add the double quotes in the println. And if I want the value of the variable, then I won't use the double quotes. Without double quotes, I have to give so that whatever it is there in the variable, it is going to print. So if the variable has the value of true means it is going to print the value of true to me. So now let me compile and run it. I'm showing from the command line itself, okay, not from the option. So if you see, it is, I hope you like this online website, true. If I make false, it is going to print false. So this is printing false. So now you know what are the different data types we have seen. So now you know what is variable. Now you know what is different type of data types we have. You have the primitive data types itself as integer, short, byte, and long and all. And you have the floating, that is your decimal will have float and double. And if you have something like Boolean value, true or false, you can do. If in case I want to print a single letter. So what I can do is I can use something called char. Okay, I can say that this variable is alphabet. So here what I can do is I can use single quote, not double quotes. Again, I'm saying if I want to print a single letter, I can use a single quote, and that will have the information. And exactly, you're going to print it single letter. What I'm going to print it is, let me copy. What is your favorite alphabet? Just somebody is asking like this. You are going to give only one as an response, right? So what is your favorite alphabet? So at any point of time, you are going to give only one alphabet letter. So enter it. So it is printing only one line. So anything in a character, you have to give it inside the single quote. For numbers and all, you don't need to give anything directly you are giving, right? There is no value during assignment. But for character, when you do an assignment, you have to give it under single quotes. Okay. So with this, I'm ending today's session. If there is any question, please let me know. We can discuss.